Ever dreamed of camping in winter without freezing and still sipping hot cocoa by a warm stove inside your tent? Today we're exploring the best winter tents with Stove Jack, cozy, safe, and ready to keep you warm, even in freezing conditions. Welcome to the channel. Stick around. This guide will help you pick the right tent. All product links are in the description, so don't forget to check them out. The number 5 product on our list is WildFinder Tent. There's something magical about stepping into the wild and realizing you've brought along a shelter that feels more like a warm private cabin than a regular tent. And that's exactly the feeling this setup delivers in a way that instantly catches you off guard. Most people struggle with flimsy poles, poor insulation, and an interior that turns freezing nights into survival mode. But this design flips that experience by giving you a solid weather-ready home that feels engineered for real winter comfort, especially for campers searching for the kind of stove-friendly warmth normally found in high-end cold-season tents. What stood out first was the panoramic skylight, a massive clear window that turns cold nights into cozy, stargazing sessions. And when you want privacy, you just seal it off and create a protected space that feels intentionally designed for deep rest. The fabric is tough enough to take on unpredictable storms thanks to its dense Oxford build, and the TPU air beams add a level of stability that surprised me because they actually feel sturdier than traditional poles while being easier and faster to set up. Add the stove jack into the mix, and suddenly harsh temperatures become manageable, giving you that quiet relief of knowing you picked a tent built for warmth instead of just surviving. Ventilation is smart, airflow is controlled, and the mesh layout keeps the interior fresh instead of stuffy, which is something many winter-ready tents fail at. Compared to other models in this category, this one feels more spacious and travel-friendly, though the only con is its slightly heavier packed size, but the comfort payoff easily outweighs that. If you want a winter shelter that supports real cooking heat, quiet nights, and reliable protection, this feels like the smart pick for anyone who values warmth, durability, and stress-free setup in the cold. And number 4 is WaldZimmer Tent. Cold campsites often test your patience long before they test your gear. And that is exactly where this tent steps in like a calm solution to a harsh winter night, delivering the kind of relief people desperately look for when searching for a solid shelter that can handle a stove setup without turning the trip into stress. From the moment you step inside, you feel that slow easing of tension thanks to the thick polycotton canvas that holds warmth while still letting the air breathe, something we have tested for real-world comfort across long, cold sessions outdoors. The tall frame creates a walk-in space that actually feels livable, not cramped, and this alone separates it from some lighter models in the list that struggle with usable headroom. The heavy PVC floor adds a sense of security under your boots, giving you that subtle peace of mind when the weather turns messy. Ventilation is surprisingly thoughtful, with layered windows and roof vents working together to avoid that stuffy buildup you get in cheaper alternatives, and this becomes even more noticeable once the stove is running. Stability is another highlight, with steel poles and adjustable ropes keeping things grounded, even when winds try to ruin the mood. Compared to more budget-friendly options, this one feels like the smarter long-term choice for campers who value warmth, space, and durability over minimal weight. It is not the lightest or the fastest to handle, but it rewards you with a cozy, dependable interior that makes winter camping feel less like survival and more like a controlled outdoor escape. If you crave warmth, comfort, and a sturdy home base during cold adventures, this is the one that delivers consistently and confidently. The third one on our list is POMOLY Tent. Cold campsites often expose the real struggle campers face dealing with flimsy shelters that collapse under wind or trap moisture the moment a stove fires up. And that frustration is exactly why this tent feels like a breath of relief the moment you set it up. The ripstop polyester instantly creates a sense of protection, delivering that quiet confidence you need when winter nights hit harder than expected. As you move inside the compact cabin, the space feels surprisingly manageable for 2 adults, something we have tested for real-world comfort to ensure actual usability rather than just listed dimensions. Compared to larger canvas models in the list, this one wins in portability and simplicity, making it a smart choice for solo or duo winter travelers who want heat without the hassle. The aluminum poles lock everything down with a stability that brings peace of mind when the wind starts pushing against the walls, and the multiple pole points keep the structure steady even on sketchy terrain. The dual-door setup adds a smooth flow to the interior, letting you step in and out without the cramped feeling many smaller tents create, and the rain curtains bring an extra layer of reassurance during unpredictable weather. The fire-resistant ground sheet steals the spotlight, solving the big fear campers usually have when using a stove inside a smaller shelter and letting you relax instead of worrying about sparks. It is lighter than heavy canvas options, but does trade a bit of insulation, so expect to pair it with proper winter gear. For anyone wanting a portable warm shelter that handles heat setups with confidence, this is a genuinely solid pick that delivers steady comfort through cold adventures. Number 2 is Preself Tent. Winter trips usually fall apart long before the adventure begins because people worry about weight, wind resistance, condensation, and whether their shelter can safely handle a heat setup. And that ongoing stress is exactly why this tent feels like a calm solution in the middle of cold uncertainty. The moment you unfold the ultralight polyester body, you sense a balance between strength and convenience that many bulkier options fail to deliver, creating immediate relief for anyone tired of carrying heavy gear. As it rises into its tall teepee frame, the generous standing room adds a feeling of freedom inside, letting you cook, rest, and organize your gear without the awkward crouching that smaller models force upon you. We have tested it for real-world comfort, and the space truly supports 2 to 4 campers, depending on how much equipment travels along, making it a smart pick for minimalist winter trekkers wanting warmth without the excess. The anti-tear fabric holds firm when winds push hard, and this stability offers a peace of mind that feels priceless on exposed ridgelines. Compared to canvas-based tents earlier in the list, this one trades insulation for portability, but the stove jack quickly brings the warmth back, creating a cozy interior that evolves into a dependable home base as temperatures drop. The ventilation system helps reduce the dread of overnight condensation, and the simple setup becomes a refreshing advantage when daylight fades too quickly in winter. It is honest to say that it lacks a built-in floor and inner mesh, yet this also unlocks customization that many experienced campers appreciate. For travelers who value lightweight, efficiency, steady heat handling, and strong weather resistance, this tent stands as a genuinely smart winter shelter that keeps the focus on comfort and safety through every cold adventure. Now moving to the last one is OneTigris Tent. Winter campers often face one recurring frustration: the constant trade-off between staying warm and staying mobile, and that tug-of-war becomes even harder for hammock users who want heat without losing comfort, which is exactly why this tent feels like a breakthrough the moment you step under its shelter. The rugged nylon shell creates a protective cocoon that instantly brings a sense of relief, especially for those who have struggled with thin fabrics that collapse under moisture or wind, and the dual stove setup brings a newfound flexibility that keeps the story unfolding inside. As you hang your hammock or set up a cot, the generous interior opens up into a space that feels welcoming rather than cramped, something we have tested for real-world comfort across long, cold nights, and this immediately sets it apart from smaller tents earlier in the list that focus more on weight than livability. The waterproof treatment and sturdy ripstop weave add a layer of peace of mind that stays with you when rain or snow tries to push through, and the wind skirt quietly adds warmth retention without demanding any extra effort. Compared to the ultralight Preself model, this one offers more structural security and a better balance between hammock compatibility and heat management, making it a smart choice for campers looking to build a warm base camp instead of a minimal shelter. There is a bit more setup time and it weighs a little more, yet what you gain in stability and spaciousness easily outweighs that trade-off for most winter travelers. For hammock lovers or campers wanting a warm, reliable shelter with flexible heat placement, this tent delivers steady comfort protection and a strong feeling of safety throughout cold season adventures. So guys, this wraps up our video on the best winter tent with stove jack you can buy right now. I've added all the product links in the description, so make sure to check them out and grab the one that fits your style and game perfectly. If this video helped you in any way, don't forget to hit that like button. It really motivates us to keep bringing you honest, helpful gear guides. And of course, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss our upcoming reviews, comparisons, and buying tips. Your support means everything. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.